part of Antonio Pierce's love that he's receiving from his team. He does need a little bit. He does get a little bit of an assist from Josh McDaniels because he was just so hated, could not connect with players. Just you could just tell the locker room was disgusted by him. And then here comes AP, and he looks like so much better by comparison, on top of being the right guy.
Good, right?
He's the right guy, and he's coming after Josh McDaniels. That's a great situation to be in if you want to be loved. And I know that's still the case because players are still bringing it up.
They're still banging on him, dude.
They're still banging on Josh McDaniels. Before I get to the tweet, you almost never see this because players aren't stupid. Players are businessmen, first and foremost. Players are a lot of things. They play for their teammates. They play for their families. They play for pride. They play for rings. They are playing for the dollar sign first and foremost, which makes sense. You never hear players of ex-coaches trash them because they know maybe one day my former coach is going to be a coach or an assistant or a coordinator somewhere else, and I want to be able to have that job. I want to be, if Josh McDaniels goes back to the Patriots and I'm a free agent in 2 years, I don't want to just like immediately eliminate that as a potential team that I can go to. That's why you never hear players publicly bash coaches, almost ever. Remember when Will Compton came down on Paul Gunther 2 seasons ago, whatever it was, 30 seconds. He had 30 seconds on his podcast about like, yeah, Gunther, he'd have us do like 30 different third down packages every week. Like, it was way too complicated. Gunther called him, yelled at him. Like, it was a big thing because players never, ever do that. And you don't want to do that because maybe Gunther's going to be, I don't
know why anyone would hire his ass, but
maybe like a linebacker coach somewhere,
a
right?
Consultant or something like that.
Yeah, like, nope, don't hire Compton. He hates me, right? Which is why this speaks volumes, which is why this doesn't whisper, this screams from the rooftops. Jermaine eluemunor tweeted during the AFC Championship game. Crazy, the old regime cut a player who's now starting left guard for the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. Who would have thought? So happy for my guy. He was talking about John Simpson, right? Former Raider John Simpson, cut by Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. Now he was playing the AFC Championship game. John Simpson had a good season. He was one of the most penalized guards in football. There is that. So not good. But he did start for them almost every single game, played almost every single snap, was a really good run blocker, pretty good pass blocker, had a good season. And he was playing in the AFC Championship while the rest of the Raiders were at home, same as Josh McDaniels.
Pull on their dicks.
The shade that he threw for no reason. He was just watching a football game, seeing, watching his buddy, former teammate. Like we've talked to NFL players on this show before, right? We had AJ Hawk on, like we're talking about like, oh, are you root for the Packers still? He's like, no, I root for the guys that I played with. Like when Jordy Nelson came to the Raiders, like I was rooting for Jordy. I wasn't, Aaron Rodgers is now the Jets. I'm rooting for Aaron. Like I'm not, that's who I care about. So Jermaine's watching his teammate and being happy for him. But he couldn't help himself. Instead of just being happy for John Simpson, he had to unbuckle his belt, unzip his pants, drop his drawers, and take a dump on the grave of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler watching his buddy play well in a championship game.
Just to give you a little bit of a frame of reference here. Nesta Jade Silvera, if you believe the hype, if you believe the story, Nesta Jade Silvera got cut for doing pretty much the same thing on his IG Live. Yep. Throwing mad shade on the old regime. So it doesn't happen often. And for it to be like this, pretty in your face. Yeah, it's definitely a deal.
Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy,